Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up? It's Tud.
And I'm Obert.
Yes, you are.
You made that joke last week.
You know, it's kind of a thing with our podcast. When you make a joke once, you have to continually make it, and then it just becomes part of canon. Remember the T-Rex?
Yeah.
Remember the T-Rex scale that you so much hated, and now we do it every week? Well, now it's just going to become, and yes, you are.
Yeah, a great way to start a conversation. Basically, is just go with the declarative statement, and that'll segue into something beautiful, I'm sure.
Hey, we're talking, aren't we?
Yep. Yes, we are.
Hey,
That's what we do here on a podcast.
You know,
There are words are happening for sure.
to update, weather is different in different places. I feel like I'm in Montana today, guys, in Connecticut.
Why is it? Is it negative 30?
It is not negative 30, but it's really, really hazy here. Apparently Canada is on fire. Did not know this. So, Chris, in like 3 days, it's going to be really hazy down where you are. Because I feel like all the haze is going to blow.
Is that how the weather system goes? It goes from like Canada, kind of like southeast to Connecticut, and then it cuts back a little bit southwest.
Well, I'm assuming that it's not just
Yep.
Connecticut that's hazy. Like, Rhode Island's probably hazy, and so is like the Atlantic Ocean. So, like, Chris will eventually get the haze.
And Denver, am I right? Got him.
Yeah, very timely legal pot joke.
I think there's like 30 states that are legalized pot now.
North Carolina is not one of them, for the record.
No.
Connecticut
Hashtag
has.
North Carolina, get on this.
In fact, I think coming up, I think when this episode is dropping, I think we can start to legally grow
I don't know if you want
marijuana.
to I don't know if you
July
want to
1st.
commit on any laws and like how when they go into effect in where the hell you live, Canada.
I don't live in Canada. I'm not on fire. I'm not on fire. We just get the haze.
Oh, okay. You just get the haze. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's two things that Ted knows about Connecticut laws, it's legal pot and sports betting.
That seems like a good.
And he's never been wrong about any of those laws.
It seems like a good niche to be the expert on.
Right.
But yeah,
Well, I hope-
so. Canada is on fire. Scary. Didn't know Canada burned. I thought it was too cold. Thought it was too wet, snowy, too many Canadians, too many moose. But apparently it burns.
Yep. Sorry, Canada. Sending our thoughts and prayers and fire extinguishers to you. I'm not bailing Ted out on this one. Ted brought us here.
Listen, I'm kind of stuck in an endless loop of I don't know where to go. So we're gonna keep on talking around in circles until somebody says they want to drink some beer. So
And yes, you are.
have you guys?
Speaking about really hot things, our
No, all right, you got yourself into this mess. Go ahead.
No, I know where he's going. I know it's smoking hot.
a Red Hot Live podcast.
Red Hot Live podcast. Exactly. Yes.
That's what we've always been calling it. Our next episode is our Red Hot Summer Live podcast extravaganza.
Will it be hazy though?
See, here we go. I'm less than 5 minutes into our episode. I've already named next week's podcast. That's how
good we are.
That's how on the game I am.
That's right.
But do you have a
what
name
is
for this week's episode?
No, not yet.
It's coming.
It's
coming.
Yeah.
Wait till after the beer reviews. I'm sure we'll come up with something. No, yeah, that's right. The 29th, the next episode you listen to after this one, it will be live over on twitch.tv/beardheadgamer. So, the first live show, ton of fun. I had a blast. I mean, we were in person, so it'll be a little bit different.
Yes, this is our first live drinking alone with friends.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Thursday.
June.
Yeah, Thursday, June 29th
at
8 p.m. EST.
That's right.
At
I
est.
knew all of those things. It was just a test.
I think we
Chris
say
passed.
est instead of
passed.
EST. It's 8 est. 8 p.m. est.
We're estimating it's going to be 8 o'clock, depending on if you live in the Eastern time zone or not.
We will strive to be on at 8 p.m. Knowing us, there will be technical glitches, and Obert may or may not be wearing pants, so he may have to put them on.
I
Yes,
mean,
unless I'm in a hot tub, I think then I can be pantsless. Is that the Twitch rules?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like
You can be pantsless in a hot tub?
no scantily clad women unless they're covered in water. Like that's kind of how it works.
Scantily clad people.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is that why
I'm gonna be soaking wet next time, baby.
It's
a red hot podcast.
Is that why you're building a hot tub in the background of your computer right now?
No, maybe he Robert just built a new computer. He built the hot tub into the computer.
No, I was talking about you. I see the hot tub behind you.
Oh yeah, that's the yep.
He is the Twitch star of the pod.
Correct.
I am.
That's what he likes to claim.
I mean, until we are until I am dethroned, I guess.
I mean, there's always new Tud.
That's true.
Yes, but Chris maintains on his Beer Dad Twitch account that he's the wettest streamer out there. So he's just always a little damp.
Yeah, just a little moist at all times. Sorry for all you
hot
listeners.
Pokemon.
Why do people not like that word? By the way, is it just like a weird gross thing? I don't know. Is it the sound of it?
I think it's the sound of it. We should find out by saying it all.
Moist.
See how many emails.
Moist.
Yeah. If you don't like this
Moist.
segment, just send us an email. I would love to know. I need to know what it is. It doesn't bother me. So,
Moist.
What about hoist? Do you hate hoist too?
Moist.
That
Moist.
at the beginning really sells it.
Moist. Yeah. Moist.
Well, I think we've let Ted do enough damage this episode so far, so let's start drinking beer.
I mean, why? No one's listening anymore.
How many of those were moist and how many of those were hoist, though? That's the question. Listeners, you got to go back and find that out now.
So when we started doing a podcast, one of the tips that I got was if you want to have a podcast, a successful podcast, it's got to be something that you enjoy doing week in and week out, every single week, or otherwise, you're going to get burnt out. You'll quit. You'll stop. And I got to say, 222 episodes later I'm still enjoying drinking beer with you guys. So
That's good.
Somehow.
I know. Yeah. Until he meant to say until this intro, and then
Right.
he's
Tell me
done.
you said moist 18 times.
He's
Or I said
tapped
moist
out.
18 times.
He's tapped out.
Yep. I can't do it anymore.
No, it is crazy. You think about 220 episodes. That's a long time. It's a long time. Almost, it's older than my youngest son.
Yeah, I actually have. I was supposed to have. Wait, your son is 220 years old?
He's a really old baby.
Yeah. I should have. I'm realizing I'm looking at my beer that I have now, and it should have been. I should have had it last week because of the numerology of the beer.
Well, you have to wait. You should have to wait 2,000 more episodes.
Yes. I don't think I'm going to, though, because I would run into the every 50 drink the oldest beer in your fridge rule, and I wouldn't be able to wait that.
True, but we could make a new rule and say it's the oldest beer in your fridge that's not named for an episode title.
It could be. But this week, I'm drinking a beer that I bought at the last time we all hung out together in Asheville.
Oh.
That's a Eurisco beer.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Famously, the brewery that I spent the entire time in the bathroom at.
Chris
From
and I
that
were
fame.
concerned.
Yeah. It's funny we talked about this last episode too. I think it's because it's the time of year. We went to Asheville around this time of year last year, and had a really good time. It's where I quit getting hangovers, and where I bought this beer, which is the 2021, kind of almost like 221, which is almost like 222, but the 2021 barrel-aged Imperial Stout from Eurisco. It's aged with coffee and vanilla. It's 11% alcohol. It looks like a very yummy, maybe not seasonally appropriate beer, but it's been a while since I've cracked open a good stout. So,
And just a reminder, what's the weather in Montana today that you're drinking this heavy stout?
it's like 77 degrees inside my condo because I can't have the air conditioning on when we're recording a podcast.
This is going to be really good for hot. I hear stouts really cool you down.
Oh yeah. It's the ultimate quencher, is what they say. But let me go over to this bottle opener that Ted so kindly provided. Crack this sucker open. No luck with that soundboard, huh, Ted?
No, it still has not come back. I can make sounds with my mouth if you want.
Yeah, can you give me like a beer 30 or something?
It's
Like
beer.
a he likes beer. I don't know.
It makes him a jolly good fellow.
This is like a motor oil beer for sure. I wasn't expecting it to be this many C's on the thick scale.
Will you be able to see a T-Rex, or will a T-Rex be able to see you through it is the question.
100% not.
Everybody wants to know.
No way. Yeah, you can't see anything through this beer. Dark as night. Smells amazing. Smells like a delicious coffee-aged stout. I haven't had a beer like this. I haven't had a stout in a minute. It's been a while since I've had a really good, like all winter. I was really drinking some lighter stouts. Just like 6% ABV, just more on the Pringle-y scale than on the thick with all the C's scale. But pouring one of these, I'm excited. My mouth's a little tingly. I'm watering up. Chris isn't going to be the only one who's soaking wet this episode.
But
a little bit of coffee and vanilla on the nose. Reminds me a lot of Ted's favorite beer, the Bourbon County Stout.
It is one of my favorite.
Just how it smells.
It is one of my favorite beers.
But all right, I'm gonna dive on in. Whole mouthful. This beer is. It's like just an explosion of vanilla and coffee goodness in your mouth. A lot of chocolate, rich chocolate too. This is a very rich beer. That's the best word to use for this one.
Tell us a little bit about the coffee. Pretend like you're a couple weeks ago when Chris was describing his coffee stout. Put your Chris shoes on.
I can't do it. It does say on the side that it's Honduran Finca Deborah from Penny Cup Coffee. I don't know if that's the roast that they're using, but it does taste. I get less coffee than I get chocolate and vanilla. This beer tastes like an ice cream in all the good ways.
Is there a bad way that ice cream tastes?
Well, I could describe this beer as tasting like ice cream, and you could be like, oh, so it's just like a sugar bomb, This isn't, it's because of how rich and thick and syrupy this is. It's almost like just drinking a chocolate milkshake in a beer. Really good. No head to speak of. Just... Yeah.
I noticed that.
I think that's it. I think it's either thick or Pringly. I don't know if there's an in-between.
What about the barrel age? Like, what do you get? Like any of the barrel? Is it? You said it was
definitely
barrel
get
aged,
a good. Yeah, you get that oaky goodness, especially putting it down for a second and kind of you could feel that alcoholic barrel on your breath a little bit as you talk with having put this down. You're like, ooh, I feel it in my throat a little bit. That barrel aged goodness here. I don't know. I'm assuming it's a whiskey barrel. Yeah. Aged in rye and bourbon barrels.
Oh, nice.
So, but it's going down really fast. I gotta slow down on this one because it's really good. But I also don't want to drink it. I also don't want it to get too warm. I took it out a few minutes before, and it's like perfect drinking temperature right now. I think because I haven't had a beer like this in a while, it's gonna get a pretty easy 4.5 from me.
It's a good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just something even though today is admittedly not the day to drink this beer, it's really, really damn good.
Yeah, I've been enjoying a few heavy stouts recently, and like even though again it's not the season, or is it? It's always stout season. They're just so good. They're so good. But you gave it a 4.5. 158 check-ins on this bad boy. What do you?
That's it.
That's it.
I don't think a lot of people in Asheville know that Eurisco's a brewery. We were there. It was very empty.
That's
but
true.
It was really good. I liked it. I mean,
it was very good.
Yeah.
Good
under the radar brewery.
So I wanna do this. I want to guess my thing, but afterwards I want to go and look at Eurisco's most checked in beers and see what we're talking about here for numbers, because how popular is it? And this is the white label one, right? I think they have a black label and a white label. You got the right one?
That is correct.
Okay. Low check-in count, but I think people are gonna like it. I'm gonna guess 418.
Very good guess. Very good guess. A little bit higher at a 4.2.
It's higher.
4.21.
Wow.
So very respectable beer from Eurisco.
Very good. Yeah. I'm sad this is the only one I have, and guys, I think this is the last Asheville beer I have, which is sad, but at the same time, that means that I'm legally allowed. I can go back. Now that my fridge is empty of Asheville beers, I can return.
$5 well drinks. Here we come.
Oh God.
Let's go.
It's
Albert's
actually
Return of the Hangover.
So
no, never again.
looking at Eurisco as a whole, Eurisco has a 393 average on Untapped, so that's respectable.
Yeah.
There's a couple like 1100, 1200 ratings, 1100 ratings, 600 ratings, and they're all averaging 407, 387, 412. So like, there's pretty high. I don't see anything below a 375.
Yeah, but to Tud's point, like on the Asheville beer spectrum, they're much smaller than I guess.
Very
I didn't realize they were so small.
Yeah, it's almost like we stumbled upon like a local, like the locals brewery instead of like the tourist breweries.
Right. Yeah, you go to Burial and each one has 20 bajillion check-ins, and that's and 20 billion and one words in the name. But
which I'd like to say, I don't think any of those check-ins that anybody has ever made at Burial has been checked into the right beer. Because they're up there and they're like, I'll take a 47 and a 20. And they're like, I'm never going to remember these names, so I'm just going to pick names out of the hat.
And they both are orange.
And they're really choosing between like a 4.5, 4.75, and a 5.0. So how much does it really matter?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at that point. But yeah, no, Eurisco, I wish we were in better shape when we got there. But, no.
I think that was the first one of the day for us.
It was. And it was weird. We were like walking, and I'm pretty sure we only stopped because Over had to use her bathroom. I feel like that was like the reason.
I think you're right.
Yeah, we had to walk upstairs because the brewery was upstairs.
Oh, I forgot about this. The stairs was a big challenge for me. Man, I was in rough shape.
There was no air conditioning because the air conditioner was broke. Where you guys really messed up that day is we had breakfast tacos for before this. You guys didn't have the breakfast taco beer like I had. You guys chose not to drink a beer with your breakfast, and I think that's what helped me.
This was the biscuits and gravy place, I think. The breakfast taco was the day before.
No,
we'll never know.
Because didn't we start walking from the breakfast taco place, and that's how we stumbled upon Eurisco. Because we were aimlessly walking around.
You know the place I'm talking about, where we went for the biscuits,
yes.
And the line was super long. We were stuck waiting there forever.
Yeah, I think that was
that was like the longest wait in my life for breakfast.
I think that was the morning that Chris was struggling, not that you were struggling.
That whole trip, we were all in the struggle bus. We were just taking turns. Someone was driving, the other two were in the back. But yeah, I'm happy with this one. I'm happy with how it tastes, my rating, and my guess. So that's a good trifecta.
Yep, can't go wrong.
But here's a 2021 to episode 222. Chris, you got a beer for us?
I do have a beer for us. All right, so we're jumping into weather-appropriate beer here. No more stouts.
Hey, mine was kind of smoky. It would be appropriate for Tud's.
Oh, there you go. Rest in peace, Canada. So I have a double dry hopped IPA today from Magnanimous Brewing.
Ooh, never heard of them. And
this is in collaboration with Bottle Logic, which we've heard of Bottle Logic before, which I thought was pretty neat. So Magnanimous Brewery is out of Tampa, Florida. Not what I was expecting. But I bought this at a local bottle shop. I went to a bottle shop the other day, guys. It was my first trip to a bottle shop in a while. It was
nice.
You care to shout it out?
Yes. It's called the Brewer's Kettle. I think there are multiple locations, but the one that I went to is in Lexington. So it's a nice little shop. They serve things. They have some beers on tap, so I had a nice little beer on tap while I was there, and then walked around as I was drinking, and they had a good selection. I actually got some Abomination there. I had a collaboration with Southern Grist that I picked up, which I of course had to get. They had a couple Bourbon County stouts. It's just chilling, waiting for a new home. So
curiously, what Abomination did you get?
Rotting Earth.
Oh, okay.
So I have not tried it yet. I only bought the single, but if I have to give a critique, I feel like the prices are a little bit high, but they did have a very large selection. Also wine was there. So did not look at the wine very much, but pretty cool little spot. But
I like the drinking while you buy beer. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
That's
nice like the deli cheese slice at the grocery store approach.
Yes.
It's the adult deli cheese slice.
Yeah, it was pretty good stuff. So yeah, if you're in an area and you see a brewer's kettle, you should stop in. So I picked this one up. I was going through, I was trying to fill my mixed 6-pack on top of a few 4-packs I got. And this one jumped out. All things serve the beam. I feel like it's a reference to something, but I'm not sure.
That is definitely a reference to something that I don't know.
Yeah. But it's got little pistols on it, and like flowers. It looks like roses on it. It's a nice looking can. Double dry hopped IPA from Magnanimous Brewing and Bottle Logic. So let's see what
it's from. The Dark Tower from Stephen King.
There you go.
I don't have. Is that a book? Is that a movie?
I mean, Stephen King.
Stephen King is an author. Is a book guy.
He's a booker.
He does the books.
He does movies too. His books get made into movies.
It's true. I did think they made a miniseries about the Dark Tower, but
that sounds right.
I don't know.
Given a little bit of a swirl. That's a very big chunk right at the bottom there, though.
Ooh, yeah, I love those chunky IPAs.
Chunky IPAs.
I really feel like you want to chew your beers. That's the best way to go.
No, there's definitely some sediment at the bottom, but I will say, I don't know if it comes across on the webcam. It's a nice looking beer. It is a very nice looking beer. Nice like dark orange with a nice frothy 1/2-inch head right there. Like it's a pretty looking beer. It smells amazing. Oh no, this is gonna be delicious. I'm gonna have to go back and get more. It smells. It gives me home. It smells like home. Those wonderful New England IPAs. It lights up like a light bulb when you try to flash a light into it. So
like Rudolph's nose.
Like Rudolph's nose. Yes. Now
a little bit less red.
Yeah. I mean, it smells like a old school, like an old school alter ego before they moved. That's what it's giving me.
Beer was better in Monson,
but it smells really good. I'm very excited. It is double dry hopped with Nectaron, Strata, and Sultana hops. Which outside of Strata, I don't know if I've even heard of the other two.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
excited that Santana's getting into the hop game, though.
No. I think he said Sultan hop, like
Sultana.
Oh. That's Sultana's that's Santana's like brother, Sultana.
Yeah. He's the Sultana of swing.
And it's 7% ABV, so head is sticking around. It's a little bit smaller, but it's still sticking around. So let's see if this lives up to the smell hype.
That looks so good.
It smells so good. I'm like I want to grade it right now just based on the smell. But here we go.
Yeah, put that beer on the wall.
This is a very good beer. I'm like very happy with this choice. It is reminiscent of like a New England IPA. I mean, it looks exactly like one, obviously, but like the double dry hopness gives it like a really nice and like I get a lot of bitterness off of it, which, as we know, I enjoy. I enjoy the bitterness. Oh man, a lot of citrus flavors in this, like going down. Maybe a little bit of like some pine on the back end, but like I get a lot of citrus right up front. Like like obviously mango. No, I'm just playing. Just kidding.
I was waiting to be like, hey, tropical or citrus? Let's play the game.
No, it's really good. It's really good. It's coming from Tampa, Florida, I wouldn't have really expected a amazing New England style IPA. This one fits the bill. It definitely has. I think the dry hopping adds some extra layers of flavor, especially up front. I get hit right up front with like bitterness, and then it just like smooths in. You get the citrus, and then it kind of just flushes out tiny bit of. I'm gonna say it's like an earthier pine ending, and I'm just like it's really good.
I really wish I knew what flavors the hops of Nectaron and Sultana are supposed to give off.
Probably like nectarine, right? Would be my guess.
That's what makes sense, like name wise. But and then I believe, and then Sultana obviously is because it's so smooth. Another Santana joke. You're welcome, everybody. It's a really, really solid double IPA. Very happy I picked it up.
So for Nectaron, it is a New Zealand hop. It's got aromas of citrus and aromas of green fruit.
Okay.
With citrus and green fruit on the mouth as well, and sweet fruit. I don't know what the difference between green fruit and sweet fruit is. I guess.
What is green fruit?
I would assume it's like a green banana.
I think so. I think green, means unripened, but I'm thinking like you got grapes, you got a sour apple.
Well,
there's a lot of green fruits out there.
I mean, you have the rind of a watermelon.
Right? That's a green fruit.
There you go.
The green part of a cantaloupe.
What about like a honeydew?
It's pretty green.
Honeydew, the meat of the honeydew is green.
Pineapple, passion fruit, peach, and grapefruit are according to beermaverick.com. Those are the fruits.
None of which
Nectaron.
are green.
Not a single one of them.
Nothing green. But no, very solid double IPA. I'm gonna give this a.
So Sultana, we actually know what Sultana is. It's formerly known as Denali.
Oh,
they changed the name.
I didn't realize GM rebranded their car.
I don't know why they rebranded the name or why they changed the name.
Huh.
Oh, that's interesting. But you're supposed to get pineapple, citrus, pine, spiciness, lemon, and tropical fruit.
I said pine. Everybody count it. Count it.
Yep.
Said pine.
We know what we're talking about here on the podcast.
We know stuff.
We're real beer people.
Well, there you go. Like two mini hoppy hours. It's been 150 episodes since we've done one of those.
Yeah, I still want to know why they changed their name.
I don't know. That's for next time on Mini Hoppy Hour.
150 episodes from now.
I'm gonna give this a very solid 4.25. Very good double IPA. Especially for one I just pulled off. Like, I almost feel like when you're like pleasantly surprised, it like helps the rating, right? You're just like, oh man, this is really good.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4.25. I think if you're not as big a fan of the bitterness as I am, then maybe it might be a 4. But it's a very solid IPA. So, yeah, 4.25 for me.
So out of 176 check-ins on Untapped,
Jesus, nice.
What do you think they rated it?
I think it's gonna be good. I don't think it'll be as high as me, but I think it'll be above 4. I'm gonna say 4.07.
So it did not crack 4.
Wow. Okay.
3.96.
Wow. Okay. Untapped is wrong. Got you.
Well, hang on. Florida Untapped users.
That's true.
Because
that's true.
Tampa, we assume, doesn't know anything about drinking IPAs. It's fair to assume.
But they
Tampa
do know
IPA drinkers.
But they do know citrus fruits down there.
Yeah, but they thought this was 3.96. I trust Chris over at Tampa. Just throwing that out there.
The whole city of Tampa, you trust Chris over.
I mean, I do.
No, I trust Chris over them. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I mean, it smells like home. It smells like a beer I would crack open and pour into my glass that I got from name a brewery in Connecticut or Massachusetts. Like, that's what it smells like, and it tastes almost as good. But anyways, Todd, you're the caboose on this 222 train.
Choo choo.
He's the third too.
He's the third. Yeah, that's probably better.
The triple deuce. Bringing up that 222 caboose.
222.
So this week, I figured since Obert was finishing up his Asheville beers, I would try to work my way through some of my backlog of some nice beers from good beer towns that I have as well that aren't from Connecticut.
Sticking with the theme.
Sticking with
Clearly.
the theme. And I found a Scythe or Skithy. Skithy? Scythe.
Scythe?
Scythe.
See, Scythe?
Scythe.
Yeah.
There are 18 different ways to pronounce this word, and I said it all wrong each time.
17 are incorrect.
Found a Scythe.
Yes.
I don't know why it would be pronounced Scythe. It's S-C-Y. That sounds like Scythe to me. But anyways.
The C is silent.
Well, why do they got to make the C silent? What if the C feels bad and he wants to be heard?
Sorry, the S is silent.
What if the S is bad and wants to feel heard?
Then it's just wife.
Anyways, this is a beer by Tired Hands. It is a single hop Nelson Sauvin Savion. How are you going to tell me that I pronounced the word wrong too there?
This one I can never pronounce right.
Nelson Sauvin.
There you go. That one too. 18 different ways to pronounce words. This is a double IPA. It says this beer is hyper fresh, unfiltered, and fragile. Keep cold. It is...
How hyper fresh is it?
So it was brewed on 3/8, or canned on 3/8, March 8th. So a little bit old, but I bet you...
I think we're into just fresh territory now.
Yes.
We've lost the hyper.
Yeah. It used to be hyper, then it was still really fresh, and now it's just fresh. I'm trying to tell you what the ABV on this here bad boy is, but they don't tell you. This is the second or third Tired Hands beer that I've brought on this podcast that has not told me the ABV. So I don't think it's a rule in Pennsylvania that they have to tell you what the ABV is. That's interesting. Anyways, the can art is pretty cool. It is a skeleton hand reaching for a scythe, or skithy, or scythe, whatever you want to call it, in a tree root surrounded by dead skulls.
Untapped says 8% ABV.
8% ABV, so this is a good, it's a good sipping beer. Definitely can't chug this one.
You could try.
I mean, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything.
Ted's a very good inspirational leader for our podcast.
So, very much like Chris's, it is your standard looking New England IPA. When you put the light behind it, it does light up like a light bulb. I don't think a T-Rex is seeing you in it, but you might be blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, when you try to stare at this thing if you were inside of it. Nobody's seeing shit inside of this beer.
Did you say wrapped or revved?
Wrapped?
Revved.
Isn't it wrapped up like a deuce?
No, it's revved.
Revved up like a deuce, another runner in the night.
Today I learned.
It's okay. It's a famously misheard lyric song, so you can be forgiven.
You could be wrapped up like a douche.
You could.
That's definitely not right, though.
On the nose, it smells like your standard New England style IPA. Lots of citrus notes, maybe a little bit of tropical notes. I guess I won't know till I taste it, but it's definitely one of those two notes. It's either going to be mango or it's going to be orange. I do not believe it will be both.
I feel like, so there's room on the whiteboard here. I have a good spot right here. I think I want to make a Venn diagram where we have tropical and we have citrus. And I can put in the middle
mango.
What's both tropical and citrus. Because I don't know if there's really much citrus that isn't tropical. I feel like it all falls in that same Venn diagram.
No, kiwi is not citrus. That's tropical, though.
Right. I do think that it would help everybody, myself and my two co-hosts, if we could fully delineate what tropical flavors are.
I at one point had a tasting list, and you guys made so much fucking fun of me that I got rid of the list.
No. That's not true, because the more that we made fun of you, the more you would have kept the list. The problem is we didn't make fun of you enough. If we had, you would have kept the list.
Touche. I still might have the list too somewhere.
I don't doubt it.
No, but it smells like, it smells like your standard New England IPA. It's one hop, so I always kind of like when breweries do one hop things to kind of test it out. You can just tell
it's one hop this time?
Just like that. Just like that. No right foot stomping and no left foot stomping, though. And no cha-cha and real smooth. So,
and Chris was 3 hop this time, right?
I was. Yes. Yep.
That is a great name for these single hop beers. Is one hop this time. It's great.
You were talking about you're entering a homebrew competition soon. I think we have a pun so good that you must brew your entire beer in accordance with to make the pun.
Well, I can't do it. That's Night Shift's thing. That's what they name their beers. Is their single hop IPAs are all called one hop this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought I was making a funny original joke and not ripping off Night Shift.
No, you just ripped off. I thought you were going to rip off Night Shift. I thought that was your whole goal.
No.
When you take a sip of it, it is definitely more tropical than it is citrus. Definitely a lot more mango than oranges or grapefruits. Not as bitey, I guess I would say, because like a citrus fruit, is a little bit more bitey, a little bit more tart. This is a little bit more smooth, kind of like you're drinking like a mango smoothie. maybe
sounds yummy.
Yeah, maybe a little dragon fruit in there. Like, it's definitely more the smooth side of the tropical fruits than the citrus side of the tropical fruits. On the Venn diagram, this would be the furthest to the side of tropical fruit that you could go.
Okay.
Very smooth for being 8%. It does not have a lot of booze bite to it. I think this generally would be not a high IBU beer either, just because I don't think Nelson is an overly bitter hop. But overall, great beer. Good sipping beer. Again, Tired Hands showing off that they know how to do IPAs as well as anybody. Whether that be Treehouse, Trillium, Fox Farm, you name it, they're right there with them. Burial. This actually kind of reminds me of a Burial beer, and as part of the reason that I bought it is because it looks like had I bought this when we were in Asheville, nobody would be surprised that this came from Burial.
Other than the fact that the title is like 28 words too short.
Right. Yeah, this would be like found a Scythe under the cover of darkness while being in a mood, sitting under a tree, eating a pancake.
I like how you started strong there, and then you took a quick left turn to Dr. Seuss.
Listen, I still don't know how...
I will not drink you with a scythe. I will not...
I will not drink you with a kite. It's a joke on how to pronounce the word Scythe. But anyways, solid beer. I wouldn't say this is the best beer I've had by Tired Hands, but still a really good representation of a New England style IPA. I'm going to go with... Let me take one more sip. I'm going to go with a solid 4. Straight, really good New England style IPA. Like I said, I really like the single hop style beers. I wish more breweries did that so you could kind of see like the breweries play around with things. Fox Farm used to be really good at that with their Rome series.
Did they stop doing that?
The last couple times I've been there, I haven't seen it. And it kind of makes me upset because they used to play around with all these hops and you get to see like the madness forming as they develop things. I know Treehouse still does the Curiosity series, but they're not single hops. I think the only one that I know consistently does it is Night Shift.
Okay.
And speaking of Night Shift, they are apparently selling part of their brewery again. I think Night Shift is falling on hard times. It's very sad for them because I like Night Shift.
Yeah, they were really solid when we went up there. I saw that don't they contract brew now or something?
I think so. They
Something
contract
like
brew, but they were selling off equipment, but they were supposed to come back and start brewing again. I don't know. I hope they're able to last.
Yeah, they were a good like I won't say OG, but they've been in Boston forever. Like they're solid beer.
So 4.0.
Okay, well, what do you think 3,338 of your untapped cohorts have rated this beer on average?
That is a lot more check-ins than either one of you guys had combined.
Yep.
Correct.
I mean, hop hype, I guess, is a thing, right? So probably a little bit above me. But, it's a single hop, but it's Tired Hands. Let's say it's not going to be above a 4.2. That's dumb. Because it's just a standard, really good IPA. So I'm going to say 4.18.
Got in under the wire to beat me.
What?
It's a 420.
Oh, damn it. I thought about guessing 422 because, we made a wee joke at the beginning of the podcast. And
the marijuana number. You win this week.
It's been a long time since I've had something put on the board.
You've been on a little bit of a dry spell.
It's been a long fucking time.
The wet ones over here. Yeah.
Where were you? 0.03?
I was 0.03.
Oh, I meant to guess 4.17 over. That's what I meant to guess, so we could tie.
Yeah, I appreciate the solidarity here, but no, it's a fair game. You were in the point fair and square, so we'll add that to the board. Congratulations, dry one over here.
I'm not dry anymore. Now I'm soaked. Man of the people, semicolon Tud. Some even would say. It's been a long time since that's been said on this podcast.
Yeah, this is why I read the leaderboard. I kind of forgot about that joke. But you are the man of the people, and it shows this week.
Well, being a man of the people, I'd like to ask you guys a question, if you don't mind.
What's that, Tud?
Well, you know what really grinds my gears? We're 3 really hairy men, and
we are.
Every once in a while, you're shaving, whether you're shaving your face or your chest or your happy trail or your balls, and you nick yourself.
Wait, hang on. Did you just try and slide 222 episodes into this podcast? Did you just try and casually slide into our first ever advertisement without like really acknowledging that that's where we were going with this?
Exactly. We're professionals here.
Oh, I'm going to pretend like we're not in an ad. That's a weird thing for you to say on this podcast, but go on.
It is a very weird thing for me to say, but I have a solution for you guys. And the solution is Manscaped. Have you guys heard of Manscaped before?
What's that? No, I've heard of Manscaped.
Oh, this is great. Oh, in all seriousness there, folks, this episode today is sponsored by Manscaped, the #1 grooming product for men. Manscaped was kind enough to provide us with the Performance Package 4.0 for us to test out, and we've been using it for some of us a little over a week and some of us less than a week, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how often you trim your balls. I don't know if you're on like a daily...
It's a daily grind. It's a daily grind.
Yeah, every day over here.
I'm a hairy man. I'm like Tim Allen in Santa Claus. You shave it off and it just comes right back.
Goes right back.
The next day.
Well, luckily for you, we have the Lawnmower 4.0, right? Came inside this package. It's a nifty little trimmer that you can use on all of your fun bits, your naughty bits, your whatever you want to call them bits. And
you can also shave your beard with it too, just an FYI.
You can. Now, okay, listen, I was going to make the joke, but listen, I don't know if I'd go up top to bottom. I don't know if I'd go top to bottom like that. I feel like there has to be...
That's why I slid down. That's why I didn't slide up.
You start at the top and you just go down.
Pro tip, the razor forgets overnight.
Much like a towel when it dries.
Yes.
The razor forgets.
Yeah, I mean, I have a beard trimmer, but up until last week, I did not have a ball trimmer. I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with it.
I think it's the ceramic blade that helps reduce the nicks and cuts of the Manscaped trimmer.
Right. And if you're a wet boy like me, don't worry. These bad boys, waterproof.
And if you're blind like me, it does come with a 4000K LED spotlight for you when you need to be super precise, which is super helpful for me because I like to shave little smiley faces in mine.
Just a little surprise there for Caitlin.
Exactly.
So the trimmers are super cool, but this package also comes with Crop Preserver, which is deodorant for your balls. Listen, I did not realize that this was a thing that I would probably take away from the whole package. The Crop Preserver, which is the ball deodorant, and the Crop Reviver, which is, you need a little spruce up down there, a little ball toner. It keeps all your stuff down there feeling nice and feeling dry, a pleasant aroma.
Yeah, no, I tried them out. I tried out the deodorant and the Reviver. Pretty good, I'd say. I liked the Crop Reviver for preventing chafing, and I use it when I'm going on my long hikes that I like to do.
There you go.
I found that I've been using Body Glide in the past, but this might replace it just as something more convenient.
And I will say that I wish I would have had that when we were doing our hike a couple years ago where you almost killed me. It would have been great to have the anti-chafing of the ball Reviver. Missed opportunity there, but now going forward, I know what I need. On top of that, guys and listeners, the package also comes with a pair of underwear, as well as, it's called the Shed Travel Bag. It's a nice little bag that they give you where you get to shove all of your Manscaped stuff in there, and then it zips up. So, it's like a travel pouch. Really high quality leather. Mm-hmm. It's the best travel case I think I've ever gotten from anywhere. It's just super thick and durable, and it holds your entire performance package, plus room for more.
I was surprised because normally when you get like a gift set like this, the bag is one of like the weaker components.
Yeah.
Like Todd was saying, it's legit and roomy. Like normally they're like, okay, if you pack everything just the right way, turn this at like a 32-degree angle, you can seal it all in. This one, there's actually, it's legit to make your like travel bag and throw your, toothbrush, deodorant, whatever, other care products in there.
Yeah, it's like a cavern. Like, it's cavernous. You can just you can keep on shoving shit in there and it just keeps on going in. So, we do have a special promo code for listeners. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code DAWF at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the promo code DAWF. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
And we'll thank you because we want you to use this code and prove to Manscaped that they were right to have us sponsor their product. And yeah, if you tune in next week on our live show, We'll show you the bag. We'll show you all the stuff. It's pretty good.
And how to use it.
What can we do to get Chris Chick kicked off of Twitch?
He did say it was waterproof, so
I did.
Listen,
for a wet boy like him,
as long
he'd be
as
all
you,
set.
from what I'm to understand about Twitch guidelines, if I have my toe in a glass of water when I
anything goes.
do anything I want, I'm allowed to do it.
Yeah.
So on my last Twitch stream, guys, now I'm Beardad Gamer, obviously. Check us out live, June 29th, Beardad Gamer, twitch.tv/Beardad Gamer. But primarily, my
promo
chat,
code DAWF.
promo code DAWF at twitch.com. No, so primarily my chat is very focused on Pokemon. I know, shock to everybody, shock and awe. But this past stream was actually really nice because I had some beer lovers drop in. And they were like, we were chatting about beer for the first time I was like, listen, I love beer. I will talk about beer for hours. I do it literally every week. Like, one of my longtime viewers who I've recommended Untapped to before, untapped.com, use promo code DAWF. I've recommended Untapped because they were talking about like, how do I keep track of the beers I drink? And I was like, well, let me change your life. He was saying he's checked in a few beers here and there, and he was asking like, what's the highest, not the highest beer that you've rated, but the beer that you've had with the highest global rating, which I looked up and I was a little surprised, but maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't have been. So I'm just curious, what is the highest?
Ooh, I like this. This is a good combo.
So are you quizzing us, or should we go look?
No, go look. I want to.
And I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm not counting any beer that has less than 50 check-ins.
Okay, that's fine.
Because like, I mean, 6 people could rate it a 5.0, and then you're like, oh, okay.
I think you'll be surprised because I was, but shouldn't have been.
Okay, so I have it up here, and I can't say I'm very surprised.
The suspense is growing for Tuds.
I am surprised with what came up.
Okay.
Chris, where are you on the surprise scale?
I was surprised it was the one that it is, but I'm not surprised that it's up that high. That's what I should say.
I have a 2-way tie, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mine are close. I have 2 that are 0.01 apart.
What do you got?
Me too.
You're the one who brought it up, so I think you should go.
So my top rated beer that globally rated is the Bourbon County brand coffee stout 2014 at a global rating of a 4.64.
That's my second one.
Okay. My second one.
Mine is only a 4.58.
Okay.
So.
All right. See, we're not even.
You guys are a league ahead of me. You guys have to scroll 3 windows past to get to where I
am. My second highest one is King Julius with a global rating of a 4.63.
That's my third one.
So you have one beer that's higher than...
Okay, so what do you got, Todd?
So my highest rated beer is also a Bourbon County brand stout from 2012.
Okay.
And it's a 4.65.
Wow, okay.
So my 2 top beers on this list are Bourbon County brand stout from 2012 and Bourbon County brand coffee stout from 2014.
Yes. Wow. And I think, fun fact, we had the Bourbon County brand coffee stout together.
It looks like we had it at a Rising Point.
Yeah, that's if I remember correctly, I feel like that's where we had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy that the highest rated beer on Untapped you paid $0 for.
Right.
Well, I mean, we paid $50 for the ticket.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, but they were just giving it away. You know what I mean?
You can't give this stuff away.
But that was the one year that Bourbon County was there, and they
had a lineup.
They were doing verticals of like all of their last 10 years of Bourbon County brand stout. Ober, I believe wild. You were there. I would remember pretty drunk.
I mean, I think
maybe I would remember that.
Obert may have been there, but I don't know if he made the Bourbon County tent. I don't know. I'm not.
I don't think Obert was into the because I think we got in line, we drank one, we got back out of line and went back up, and we kept on we drank our way through every Bourbon County at the tent.
Yeah.
I think this was the year that Caitlin. This was the year that Caitlin ordered us pizza, and I said no pepperoni, and she said all of it with pepperoni.
That was to this day my favorite pizza order of all time. So, Ober, what's your top global check-in?
Can I guess?
A Peasley 458.
Yeah, go for it. What do you? Well, I mean, you are scrolling through and you're seeing what's rated a 458. So I think that's cheating, and I'm not going to let you guess.
No.
Because I know that you've had both of these that I've tied at a 458.
I mean, I only have one at a 458, so I'm going to say.
Well, one I drank with both of you.
Right. I have 3 at a 458.
Jeez.
And it's the Sam Adams Utopias 2019.
Yep, that's one of them.
And that's Chris owns that one. Chris owned that one and was kind enough to share it. And,
I didn't even check that one in.
Oh, that's funny.
I gotta check it in.
That's funny. The other one is Juice Machine.
That's the one I have. I have Juice Machine. So I gotta check
that one too.
I gotta check in the Utopias. I wonder if I checked in either of my Utopias.
I have mixed feelings about Juice Machine because it's not like an OG pillar of Treehouse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I go and I get a mixed case, that's the one that I'm most excited to drink now. So I'm okay with that being the highest rated Treehouse and the highest rated beer that I have on here.
Yeah. I go through and it's amazing just seeing like the global ratings of these things and like how many, number one. Now granted, we lived close vicinity to Treehouse, so obviously like my top 15 is probably mostly Treehouse, but shout out to Heady Topper hanging in there at a 453. Shout out to Dinner at a 452. Like there's some
Swish at a 451.
Canadian Breakfast Stout, which they don't make anymore, is a 452. Amazing beer. Like so many good. Affogato from Trillium. Like,
yeah, I see that one too, and I'm surprised how many of these are not like I think the way they have the global ratings is like maybe that accounts for it, but these aren't like my cousin brewed a beer once that was really good, like that you might have had. These are world renowned beers.
Yes. Every single one of them. There isn't a fluke, a quote unquote fluke beer where there's like 10 check-ins and they're all 5s.
So I scrolled enough to see what the highest like normal Treehouse beer was, not counting like Juice Machine or Very Green or Julius or King Julius or anything like that.
What I was calling the pillars of Treehouse.
So the highest rated Treehouse pillar is Julius at a 4.49.
Yeah. It's amazing. Golly. I want to listen. I know we've talked about Treehouse a lot. I want to go back. I want to go back so bad. Like
I can go anytime I want.
I cannot. I really
can. You just have to drive further.
I guess that is true. And also untrue.
That's true, yeah. Of anybody living in North America.
Yeah. Oh man. So but it was a neat thing. I never thought about looking it up. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So turns out I've had a ton of really, really, really good beers. And so is all of us. So
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we are privileged to live in this time of beer. The golden age of beer.
I love it. I love it.
It really is. Before we go to handles. So yeah, before we go over to the handles, I did want to say live show, the 29th. Bring us your questions. Bring us your ask us anything.
AMA.
If you have AMA, AUA, bring a beer, drink alone with us. That's something cool that you can do.
Yep.
We're going to be looking to the chat, probably the second half of the show for, just ways to interact with our fans. It's not, the whole point of the live show is to get the feedback from the audience. So we'll be looking forward to what you guys have to contribute and ask us and tell us. So
bring your razors as well, so guys can shave with us.
Yeah, maybe. But looking forward to it again. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. EST. Estimated 8 p.m. June 29th. Okay, so with that, it's time we head over to the Frosty Mug of Wisdom. Todd narrowly beating me out.
Smidge.
0.02.
By a smudge.
As little as you can to get in there. I feel like I owe you this. Honk, 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 honk. Todd, man of the people this week.
It's been a long time since I've heard that.
It's been a long time since you've earned it.
It's true.
But for those of you who don't know, we're going to head over to our Frosty Mug of Wisdom. We're going to fill it up with life advice, hacks, stuff, wisdom-y goodness. It's got 3 handles, and we play this song. Jordan, go.
Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Mug of Wisdom! Drink. Mug of Wisdom!
Okay, thank you, Jordan. He used to have a podcast called Wreck My Podcast, and now he doesn't. Tud, you are man of the people. Who's going first?
I'm going to go first. My handle this week is going to be Diablo IV. So for those of you who do play video games, we've already talked about Tears of the Kingdom. You're supposed to be playing that, but once you're done, saving the world and saving Zelda and beating the bad guys in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, if you want to beat more bad guys, Diablo IV is the new hotness at the moment. It is your standard type of Diablo game, except for it's slightly different. It's open world this time. But if you've liked any of the Diablo games in the past, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Diablo 4 is the next release in that vein of games. You don't have to have a super powerful computer to play it. So even somebody who has like an older Obert style computer should be able to play Diablo 4 on their computer. Not Obert's new computer, Obert's old computer. I'll make a distinction here. But
thank you.
It is really fun. It's gotten great reviews. The only thing that people seem to be knocking it for is there is a microtransaction store that is more for cosmetic features for your character more than... There's no like pay to win stuff. You can't buy weapons or anything like that. At least not that I've seen. It just seems so far strictly cosmetic. Now, I will say some of them are ridiculous. There's some cosmetics that are like $20. I personally don't pay for anything like that. I paid for the game. That's all I'm going to pay for this game. I'm not going to throw out extra money for microtransactions. I would buy DLC, but I'm also a curmudgeon and I'm old. So all the kids nowadays they pay because they want their Fortnite character to look like Dora the Explorer. So
so you've told us how many Diablos there are, and you've told us that this is open world and that there are microtransactions. What do you like about the game?
I'm just a big fan of the dungeon crawler game that Diablo is. I'm a fan of the game loop where, you start a character,
What are you playing as?
I am playing as a druid.
Okay. What level are you?
So far, I'm level 12.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I'm just at the end of the first act. So we're going forward. We're trying to beat Lilith. So that's the bad character of the game is Lilith. The cutscenes, unlike the first...
I'm glad that Diablo IV entered. We have gender equality now. We have evil women that can be bad guys too.
Exactly.
That's,
I believe there was always a bad woman in each of them.
True.
But anyways, the cutscenes are fantastic. The story is interesting. It's a different game. It's not like the same there's a bad guy and you got to go kill him and kind of boring cutscenes. These are like real cutscenes. There's an actual story that goes along with Diablo. You can tell they put a lot of time and effort into this, which is strange given that Activision Blizzard has a history of their releases flopping. So, go check out Diablo 4. It's worth the money. I will warn it is $70 for the base game.
Yeah, it is expensive, but I do love Blizzard's cutscenes. Their cinematics, they're no matter what game you're in, basically anything in the last 2 decades, they have amazing cinematics. So I'm not surprised that it's holding up. And fair disclosure, haven't bought it yet. I've been waiting for the TED review to be like, hey, is this worth it? And what are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on my PC. My laptop's still able to run it, so I've been playing it a lot on my laptop while I'm sitting on my couch. But the saves, bounce back and forth between my PC and my laptop. You can play it on your Steam Deck. You can play it on Xbox. You can play it on PlayStation. I don't think you can play it on the Switch. I did not look, but I don't think it's out on the Switch. You can play it anywhere you want.
I'm sorry I interrupt, but unfortunately we lost one of our co-hosts. Chris has been eaten by a dog.
Listeners can't see this, but Chris has a new dog, and the dog is Eating Chris,
chowing down.
Yeah, eating Chris and shoving his butt in his face all at the same time. It's quite the sight.
Yeah, it's pretty adorable. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, go check out Diablo 4. It had a better launch than Diablo 3, just an FYI. Better launch than Diablo 3.
This is the first time you're hearing about Diablo 4 from this podcast. Maybe check out Diablo 2, get up to speed, get through 3, then head up 4. But
and if you haven't played Diablo 3, like Obert, who quit on it back when it was brand new because he didn't like the way the launch was, Diablo 3 is a great game too now, after they redid the whole thing. But Diablo 4, I don't think is going to suffer from that. So go get Diablo 4, but if you haven't played Diablo 3 because you were scared, play Diablo 3 as well. So with that, I'm going to hand the mug over to Obert because I think Chris is still being eaten by a dog.
Okay. So as Todd alluded to, I have a brand new computer. Might sound a little different in the audio depending on, new machine, new rig. It's all different, but we'll see. Hopefully you don't notice a difference until now. But one tool that was instrumental, well, I'll say this. This isn't my handle, but if you are someone who is serious about your desktop computer, who uses it either professionally or for fun and uses it, as much as, 4 to 8 hours a day, whatever, I recommend when it's time for a new computer to build your own. It's pretty easy to do. It's basically like Legos that snap together. Really, anyone with a decent sense of mechanical know-how, it's pretty straightforward. It's like this generation's way of like working on your car. You know what I mean? But the tool that I used to help me the most with building my new computer was www.pcpartpicker.com. With a side shout out to logicalincrements.com. But PC Part Picker is a great tool to go on there to tell you exactly what components you need in your new computer. Everything from the CPU all the way down to like the fans you're going to need in the case. All this stuff is in there where you can go and pick it all out at the price point you want, at the power level that you're looking for in terms of ability and price. That you can then go in and make sure that all these parts are compatible with each other. You can go and compare websites for what's cheap, what's expensive, where should I buy this part, where can I find a good deal. PC Part Picker is a integral tool that I use to build my computer and to know when it's time to build new. So I can't recommend it enough. Maybe I could put my build in the show notes if you want to see what I'm working with here on my new machine. But I'm liking it so far. And it really, PC Part Picker takes the guesswork out of a build in a way where you're like, I don't know, do I have everything I need? Do I not? They have a pretty good community of people who can tell you this is fine. They have sample builds. It's a good place to start if you're someone who's like always interested in getting a new computer, but you don't know where to start. It's a great resource to learn how. And honestly, I'm just going to tell you this, it's not that hard. I could do it. And I'm not one who's really good with electronics or anything like that. It's just like plugging Legos together and some cables. And it's a little time consuming, but honestly, building a new computer wasn't that hard. So check it out.
I have never built my own computer. I had somebody else build my.
But your brother does that for like his career, right?
He's a systems administrator. He just knows how to do.
He's an IT guy, though. Like he's got it. He's a computer person.
It's true. Chris, I would also say Chris is a computer person too, but Chris didn't build his either.
But your brother's an IT man. Chris is just a Twitch streamer.
I feel like once you have I say this all the time. Once you have a kid, you lose everything.
No hobbies anymore.
No. You become old, and you're like you're the grandma looking at the computer screen in the meme. You're that all the time.
Yeah. Einstein would have never discovered relativity if he had had children.
Nope, guaranteed not.
His brain would be too occupied with kid things.
Exactly.
Damn youths.
But okay, so I don't know who's giving the next handle, Mac or Chris, but you're up.
I know. Actually, as I was holding Mac, it gave me a handle in my face. So
You guys ever heard of Chewy?
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of this? No. Have we discussed that I have a dog now? Like, I don't even know if we even.
We haven't. I don't think.
Okay, I have a dog now. I have a puppy. So I have a.
What's its name?
I have a 15-week-old Aussie Beagle mix.
It's a low energy dog.
Basically.
Yeah.
Sounds completely
chill, very
energy.
chill.
As you just saw, basically no energy at all. His name is Mac, short for macaroni. He's very cute. We'll have to put I'll throw some pictures in the Discord. But one thing that we've been working on is house training Mac. Like, he does pretty good. But every once in a while, like if we're taking care of the children or in the other room or whatever, he has to go potty. He has to go potty sometimes. And one way that we are currently teaching him how to potty train, and I recommend this to anybody if you have a small puppy that can easily learn things, is we bought bells to put on the door. So hung bells from our front door and our sliding door. And the first few times, you're like, we bring him over and I would pick up his paw and hit the bells and be like, outside, just reminding him. And it didn't take long. Until now, if he's in the kitchen or in the living room and he's got to go potty, then he runs over there and he hits these little bells, makes a little jingle, and then we know that he's got to go outside. It's amazing. It's amazing how quickly dogs learn in comparison to children. Because I feel like we've been trying to teach Lucas how to use the potty for like 3 years now.
Did you get him bells too?
We have not. Maybe that's the key.
I do have a counterpoint to this, though, where it's like, if you had like a bell that was like, your kids could reach, and you were like, candy, and you like said candy, and you hit the bell every time, then you gave them candy, and you'd be like, just all you need to do is hit this bell and we'll give you candy. I think that they would pick up a lot sooner than because I feel like for dogs, that's basically what it is. It's just like going outside is just a big treat for them.
That's true. Like, he's going to come inside and instantly ring the bell, be like, I want to go back outside.
No, not yet.
Oh, so Brad did this with his dog, and that happened. Like, as soon as you got back in, like within like 2 seconds, the dog was, ringing that bell because it knew that, you need that. It learned that you are trained, that every time it rings the bell, you have to bring it out. Eventually, Brad had to get rid of the bells.
Well, we will see how Mac progresses, but yeah, I highly suggest, like, unless you get a conniving dog like Tud's brothers,
they all become conniving.
I don't know. Max, he's he's too cute. He's too cute to become conniving.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's not luring you in with his sweet cuteness right now.
Nope.
This isn't all a ploy.
Definitely not a thing. Or maybe if you're struggling, maybe you have a puppy, you're struggling to get him to potty train. It's something to try. So there you go. The first of what I assume to be many dog handles. So
welcome to the club.
We're dog people now, me and you, Obert. Let's scoff at the non-dog person.
You have had very few cat handles over the years, I feel.
That is very true.
It's true.
Very true.
I think it's safe to say I think Chris might enjoy the dog more than he enjoys the cats. But the dog's also new.
Yeah, once the shine wears off, let's see how I feel about the dog then.
Yeah, when it's, at least you don't live in like New England or Montana where you have to take the dog out when it's -6.
That's true. It normally does not get that cold.
So with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening. We'd like to thank the brewers who provided today's beers. I will thank Tired Hands for their Found a Scythe.
I would like to thank Magnanimous Brewing and Bottle Logic Brewing for their All Things Serve the Beam.
And I want to thank Eurisco Beer Company for their 2021 Imperial Stout.
Please make sure you head over to social media and follow us over at DAWF Podcast. Also, make sure you follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the podcast, there are multiple ways you can do that. You can go to Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month, you can get extra episodes, Drinking Alone with Friends, about a 20-minute bonus episode. We call it the pregame. You can also go over to Discord, and you can join the live conversation over there with other friends that want to drink alone with you. You can also head over to manscaped.com and use promo code DAWF for 20% off and free shipping.
Yeah, I think we should not glide over that one, because limited time offer on that one, on the DAWF code. You gotta get on that. Personally, highly recommend.
Agreed. It's probably the best way to support us is to go to manscaped.com, promo code DAWF.
100%. 222 episodes. We didn't ask you for shit other than this little bit at the end. I think it's time. It's time. You owe us this.
Exactly.
Support the podcast. Your balls will thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll thank you too, but your balls especially will thank you. Also, make sure
it's a win-win. Your balls and us, everyone's happy.
And finally, make sure you head over to your favorite podcast listening app, leave us a 5-star rating and a review, and tell your friends and family. And don't forget, next Thursday, to join in on the 29th of June, to join into the live show. Starts at 8 p.m. EST. And finally, go use promo code DAWF at manscaped.com. Free shipping, 20% off. Go do that. With that, my name's Todd.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
I think it's time to go back and shave again.
It's you must be getting close to Christmas.
The closer we every day, it gets a little quicker. Comes in a little thicker.
Now, Mrs. Claus will thank you every day.
You know, we didn't even talk about the foot deodorant.
I didn't get foot deodorant.
Oh, I did. Did I get foot deodorant?
No, I didn't. I didn't get it either.
No.
What did I put on my feet?
Ball deodorant.
I read this thing and it says reduce foot odor. Did we not get a...
I mean, I'm not telling you that the ball deodorant is not going to reduce your foot odor. I probably would.
I don't think we're allowed to say that.
I did put it on my feet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's for your balls, dude.